dolls. So this video is going to be about love relationships and how to turn around any relationship that seems to be failing. Keep watching to the end because I'm going to give you practical tips on how to start winning and loving today. The first thing you have to do is you have to ensure that you are worthy of the love you're desiring. Okay, so that's going to be key. You have to, in order to align with love, even to attract a love partner, somebody, if you're waiting on God for marriage or a love relationship that you're still asking God for or waiting to align for, you have to do the self-love worthiness check. And how full is your love tank? And in my other video, I'll probably post it up here. You can kind of connect the dots with that. But a quick summary would just be some of us have a lot of deeply rooted conditioning from childhood that is displayed in our behavior. So some of our behavior pattern also that's displayed in some of our love relationships that we attract because it's what is within. So as within, so without. And the scriptures tells us to guide our hearts with diligence because out of it comes the issues of life. So the scriptures support as within, so without, and that you get what you put out, right? And so all of your experiences, including, your encounters with other people, love relationships or friendships, they all come from within. And so if you're having less than desired encounters, you're going to have to do a self-evaluation. So that's all that means. And I won't stay too long on that because if you want to, get the highlights of that video, just watch that video. I'll put it in a link in the description below. Or I'll just connect it up here somewhere. So that's the first thing you have to do is just do a self-love assessment because you can't have what you can't see yourself having, and you can't have what you don't feel worthy of. Okay, so you'll be looking for a lifetime for it. But if you don't feel worthy for love, are you allowing yourself to be loved? And that's where that worthiness comes in. So that's going to be key. So that self-love assessment. The next thing you'd have to do in order to either attract the love that you are asking God for or align with the love that you're asking God for, which is your birthright too. Some of the things I do to increase my worthiness of love, daily is I just know who I am and whose I am. And God is love and I'm made in his image. So I'm worthy of love and love is my birthright. So I tell myself that every day. So all my encounters will be loving. I am love. I'm made to love. I'm made, from love. I'm made of love. I'm made to love. and so, yeah, just daily reminders, and that's going to be key. And then, so some of you who need more work than that is some of those love affirmations overnight while you're sleeping. They can be scripture-based, biblical-based, or not. And then just, again, that rewiring for love. And that's some of the work you're going to have to do. And of course, healing from some of the trauma that you've had. If you had some childhood trauma where there's a lack of love, or if there was a love relationship that had some trauma, then you want to consider doing the healing work for that. We did an assessment of self-love in order to attract the love that you desire or align with the love that you're asking God for, or if you're currently in a love relationship that is straining, that's not supportive, that's not your ideal desired love relationship, then you can also change that relationship literally starting today. And so we did the assessment of self-love. Next thing you'll do is you'll have to evaluate again the love energy that you're putting out, and that's going to be from your self-love evaluation, right? So again, what you put out, you receive back in return, boomerang style. So what are some of your loving behavior? Are you loving? What are some of your behaviors? And that means loving to pets. That means loving to the barista that's making your coffee. That means loving to the person, the telemarketer that called your phone. That means loving to your neighbor. That means loving to your brother and sister. You have some relationships that you have not repaired yet. So there's a lot going on there. So just keep that in mind when you're waiting on love from God, because you are loved, you are made to love. So it's your birthright, but you will have to see what kind of energy you're putting out, because you will get that back in return. Okay, so the next thing I would do to repair a relationship that felt like it was failing is I would start speaking life to it. Okay, so a lot of people, and I have another video on this about how gossiping about yourself is self-sabotage, because you can speak life to something or you can speak death to something. So when you call your friend and gossip about your own business, let me tell you what he did, let me tell you what she did. And, he didn't call, and, he might be cheating, and she might be cheating, and you name it. Or when you call about anything that's negative with deep emotion, you are actually expanding that and getting more of it. Okay, so where your attention goes, the energy flows, and focus, and all those things follow. And out of it will be your experiences. But so it's going to be key to literally, and goes back to that see past the senses thing, is because you literally have to ignore that spouse that is maybe not so loving, or that spouse that doesn't, clean up the house, I don't know, whatever the concern is, or the spouse that you're no longer into like that. So maybe you're just not, physically attracted to your spouse anymore, your significant other anymore, or maybe they have a bad habit that you can't stand, and you're like, "Ugh." So you literally will have to see past it, and you have to fight your urge to call your girlfriend and gossip about your own self, because you're going to get more of what you focus on. And that's with anything in life. Okay, so you literally have to see the divine God. You have to see God, okay, because we're all made in His image. So even if someone in your experience is not reflecting that, whether it be at the grocery store, you name it, or in your encounter in traffic, even if they're not reflecting His image in that moment, that person is still made in God's image. So we all. And so whenever I encounter people, if I notice it might be less than loving and it never lasts long, I always call on the divinity. I call on God within them, right? I call on God's image to be reflected in my encounter with them, or my experience, and it works always, almost always. So I would do the same if you did the same for the relationship that was not so loving in the home, and you called on God, you call on the God image, okay, to be reflected in them, so that will be your experience whenever you experience them. You're speaking life to it instead of death. So you're doing affirmations. You are writing down the desire. So you're writing down the love you want, what love you want, what's love even look like, what does love feel like? Because some of us doesn't even know what love feels like. So it's difficult to have something that you don't see yourself with. You'll be waiting a lifetime. And so you have to literally close your eyes and see what that feels like, literally defining it. So you have to define what love is, what love feels like, what love looks like. You've got to be specific, and God is so calculated. And I think we'll do another video on how calculated God is. He's so attentive and so calculated. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But so you can't be specific enough. I guess I say that to say, or exact or precise enough, because everything is made with precision here on planet Earth and everywhere else around us, so in this universe. And so be precise. And so define it, see what it feels like, see what it looks like. Just making sure I'm still recording, guys. And then see the God within them, and call on the God within them to be reflected in your encounter with them. And then you literally have to hold a love note yourself. I think we talked about this already, but you have to become the love that you desire. So even in the heart of it, when it's just it's so less than desired, and you hate going home, and whatever it is, and you hate being lonely, and you are waiting for God, and you're just wondering when it's going to happen, you have to see past your sense. I'm giving you the secret, dolls. You have to see past what you could see. That's it. And so even with that spouse that's less than desired, you see the end of what desired feels like, what desired looks like, and start seeing that within them. So if you want to be with a spouse, then sure, see that spouse I like to keep it very vague, not see a spouse at all, or not see a specific person at all. So the idea is, if you are radiating the love, it has to come back to you. You know, again, as within, so without, and again, what you put out comes back to you. So if you are putting it out there, it has to come back to you. And so the idea is, if your significant other in this lifetime is not going to match up to that love that you're radiating, then they will be ejected, and you will match up the love that you're putting out. It's just the way it is. And so that's a sure way to change any love, um, circumstance in any home, or to align with the love that you desire, becoming the love, or aligning with the love that's within you and expressing it. And you'll express it with everything around you. Again, with nature, with the plant, you're loving everything around you. Pets, you're loving people, you're loving the barista that made your coffee, you're loving the telemarketer that called your phone, and you're doing it around the clock, and you're holding a love note. So the idea is, can you hold a love note? If you can hold a love note, then you can have love in return. Thank you for watching. I kept that short. I'll see you in the next video. Merci for watching. Bye, dolls.